Apple's CEO's salary increases by 18%. The company is against an anti-diversity proposal. Amazon plans to stop certain DEI initiatives, as noted in an internal document. Numerous German universities have deactivated. U.S. imposes sanctions on Russian and Iranian entities for election interference attempts. A U.S. Army soldier is detained in connection with extortion schemes targeting AT&T and Verizon. The U.S. is evaluating possible regulations to limit or prohibit Chinese drones.
Whistleblower claims CIA covered up foreign involvement in Havana syndrome attacks in revealing interview. Meanwhile, a Russian court has instructed Yandex to conceal images of an oil refinery following Ukrainian attacks, according to TASS. Additionally, senior officials' laptops were compromised in a U.S. Treasury hack linked to China, as Treasury's sanctions office hacked by Chinese government, officials say, and the Financial Times reports that AI-generated phishing scams are now targeting corporate executives.
Do Kwon has been extradited to the United States to stand trial on charges related to the Terra cryptocurrency's $40 billion collapse. Upon arrival, Do Kwon entered a plea of not guilty to the charges concerning the Terra downfall. Meanwhile, in the United States, the Corporate Transparency Act, which mandates businesses to disclose their owners, has been delayed once more. An appeals court has temporarily halted the enforcement of this anti-money laundering legislation. Additionally, the U.S. government has imposed sanctions on a Chinese government contractor that hired Flax Typhoon hackers. Egypt prohibits Syrians from entering the country globally. Syria plans to restart international flights at Damascus Airport. French and German foreign ministers hold a meeting with Syria's new leaders, marking the first high-level EU visit since Assad's overthrow.
China might have prevented Putin from deploying nuclear weapons, according to Blinken. India plans to address Chinese dams with the U.S. National Security Advisor during his visit to New Delhi. Chilean president embarks on a groundbreaking journey to the South Pole amid Antarctica sovereignty dispute. 8 months prior, Chilean lawmakers convened in Antarctica to convey territorial assertions to Russia. Venezuela imposes a $10 million fine on TikTok due to fatalities associated with a viral challenge. A significant data breach involving Volkswagen has revealed the travel patterns of 800,000 electric vehicle owners, tracking their movements from residences to various locations, including brothels. According to Wall Street Journal, in China, the elusive crime boss connected to billion-dollar pig butchering scams has been identified, and it is reportedly that the downfall of a Philippine mayor may be connected to Chinese gangs. Trump will receive his sentence for the New York hush money case conviction before his inauguration, as an appeals court confirms the verdict that holds Trump responsible for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. Apple CEO Tim Cook contributes $1 million to Trump's inauguration. AP NORC poll reveals that Republicans' confidence in the accuracy of U.S. elections has increased following Trump's victory. Ukraine halts transit of Russian gas to Europe after a pre-war deal expired. Ukraine says it downed Russian helicopter with Sea drone for first time. 1,700 Ukrainian troops equipped by the West Fleet after being trained in France, leaving the rest of their brigade to suffer heavy losses in battle with Putin's forces. Russia rejects Trump's Ukraine peace proposals. Singapore Airlines announces a $1.27 billion refurbishment for its first, business, and economy classes. A piece of space debris, estimated to weigh over 1,000 pounds, reportedly collides with a village in Kenya. China's Alphabet plans to release its robot dataset as open source, claiming it surpasses Google's in size and quality.
Yellen announces that extraordinary measures to prevent default will commence in mid-January. Tron's T3 unit has confiscated $100 million in illicit USDT within a mere 4 months. Morgan Stanley's E-Trade is considering the possibility of providing crypto trading services. A study reveals that deaths from Israeli attacks in Gaza are being underreported by 41%. Meanwhile, in the United States, the House has approved a bill to impose sanctions on International Criminal Court officials involved in Israeli prosecutions. Additionally, a U.S.-supported army chief has been elected as Lebanon's president, concluding a prolonged stalemate.
U.S. intelligence agencies are now divided on whether a foreign entity could be responsible for Havana syndrome. A federal investigation into the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre has concluded that there is no avenue for a criminal case related to the incident, although the Justice Department has determined that the massacre was systemic and coordinated. The Kremlin has affirmed that President Putin is prepared to meet with former President Trump. Hezbollah leader Nasrallah reportedly died last year in the War Operations Room, according to an aide. Germany has decided to withdraw funding from two Israeli human rights organizations. Israel facilitated the departure of a former soldier from Brazil due to an investigation into alleged war crimes in Gaza, and Israel has cautioned its troops against using social media following Brazil's request for the soldier regarding Gaza. Immigration ranks as a top priority for Americans compared to the previous year, according to an AP NORC poll. Singapore imposes additional regulations on business groups based on race. Indonesia becomes a full member of the BRICS bloc, as announced by Brazil. FX Collaborative is set to create a new purpose-built home for the Climate Museum at Hudson Yards. New York City has introduced congestion pricing, which has been met with both enthusiasm and criticism. A controversial new timescape theory suggests that dark energy does not exist, as it cannot be causing the lumpy universe to expand, according to a study.
In Saudi Arabia, SRC and Hassanah introduced mortgage-backed securities to enhance real estate investment. Chinese venture capitalists compel unsuccessful founders to be added to the debtor blacklist. Bloomberg notes, fintechs increase advertising expenditures to attract a broader audience.
Elon Musk questions whether America should free the British people in a heated critique of the UK government. Following Musk's comments, UK Prime Minister Starmer condemns those propagating falsehoods and misinformation on the internet. Farage and Musk engage in a verbal battle after Musk suggests the reform leader should resign. Recently, Musk claims Farage lacks the necessary qualities to lead Reform UK. Austrian president considers a far-right coalition after government negotiations